I must be audible now. So I need to restart, I believe. Am I audible now? Yes, okay, that's great. So happy morning, everyone. A very good morning. I hope and I believe all of you are still doing well, right? One day before the exam, the D day, I'm pretty sure how many butterflies in the stomach, how many goosebumps, everything you must be going through. But Yes. So let me try to pacify you, give you some calmness, and give you some tricks basically on how to score more in the exam. Right. So quickly, I'll be running through this without taking much of your time, telling you the most important tips and tricks. It's not just the studies that need revision one day before the exam. More important, it is this exam hall tricks as well, which exam hall tricks as well, which needs revision one day before the exam, so that you will remember this is what I should be doing and this is what I should not be doing. Right. And I'm pretty sure that many of you must be facing this. If I ask you that, are you ready for the exam? Many of you might be in that state, and almost all of you would be like, really not. Wish we had more time. But trust me, even if somebody would have given you 1 year more, 2 year more, 3 years more, you would never be exam ready. Right. So everybody is in the same boat. Trust me, someone who's going to get rank 1 as well is also in the same boat. So don't worry on that front. And always believe that you can do it. If so many people in the previous years have been able to do it, even you can do it, right? It's just a lot of hype and the attachment to the results that is with this exam, which creates a lot of this fear, right? So don't let that fear overpower your performance, not at all, right? And remember that the most important things in the world have been accomplished by people who have kept on trying when there seemed to be no hope at all. Many of you must have started feeling like, I don't see there's any hope now, and I seem to be forgetting everything. I don't remember anything. Remember, you are on that track of accomplishing something great. All you need to do is this: keep on playing till the last ball. You might hit a six in the last ball and you can win the match. If you lose hopes, you are out of the game and there is no chance that you would be able to win it. Right. So whatever queries you have, guys, you can put it in the live chat as well, so that I can address your queries. There's someone who can address your queries one day before the exam in the live session as well. Right. So most important, if I correlate this to the examination hall, is to the rough patch in the exam hall that you might face. Now remember that to get some good ranks and to get some good scores, to get your dream branch, you don't need 200 all 200 questions right. Okay. So what you need is just most important, the calmness of your mind. You have a lot of room to make mistakes. Now, if you come across one question you are not able to answer, do not get panic. You have a room of 30 to 40, 50 questions, maybe even 50 questions to make wrong. So there's a huge gap of making the mistakes, right? So you can make it wrong, you can make mistakes in that, right? And if you are a bit unfortunate, you might see that all these 30 difficult one after the other, and that too in the beginning part of your exam. So remember that, tell yourself this is just that small rough patch that I'm seeing, but everything will be fine in the later half of the exam. So all you need to do is persist with a calm mind and start using some tricks to get to the right answers. So Vipul is asking how many to target to attempt. As much as possible. You should attempt a maximum number of questions. If you are one of those who's looking at some very, very good ranks like top 500, top 1000, you need to attempt like around 195. The more you attempt, the more you would score. Remember that. Do not be very, very defensive in marking the answers, getting worried about the negative marking. Remember that negative marking is just -1. If at all you get correct, it is +4, right? So there's a huge gap between what you get and what you lose. And that's the reason that you should be attempting more. If it would have been -1 and +1, then definitely I would have said that you should be very cautious about it. But since it's -1 and +4, so you should be attempting as many as possible. So which questions to leave basically now are the ones which are absolutely new to you. Like, the questions, the terms that sound alien. Those are the ones that you should be leaving. Otherwise, the rest of the questions, the topics that you have read, try to rule out the options and get to the right answer. And God forbid, let's say that if things don't go your favor in this exam and you don't get the result as expected, remember that even if you don't get a good score, it's absolutely fine. This is not the last exam. You're always going to get another chance. Your entire world, your life does not depend on this exam. And when you will, go forward in future and look in hindsight, you will realize that you were getting worried for no reason. Okay. And so sorry for that background noise. It's gonna be there either other say. So let's just keep attention to this session. Most important, सबसे ऊपर that I would like to say is do not panic during the exam. Like I said, there might be a rough patch, there might be questions which you might feel that I'm not able to answer. If you get panicked, that means your game is entirely lost. So whenever you get that rough patch, what I would say is just close your eyes, take some deep breaths, and tell yourself this is one of those few questions which I can make wrong. There are many more questions to come that I would be able to answer. If you get panicked, trust me, you would lose the game. This is the most important thing. I've had one of my very, very dear students who in the exam hall got panicked. The hand got numb. She could not even click the right answer. She tried to do with the left hand, then even that was getting numb. And thankfully, she closed her eyes and she was able to do the self-talk, right? Motivate herself and she could get back to normal. So in the exam hall, nobody's going to come and motivate you. It's you only who's, the control is entirely in your hands. So make the best use of it. Okay. So do not panic no matter what, and stay calm. It is not that difficult. Honestly, trust me, stay calm. It is not that difficult. Anything is possible when you have the inner peace. That's the most important piece of advice that I would like to give you now. And another thing that you might be facing now is, oh my God, I'm not good at medicine. I'm not good at pharmac. I'm not good at microbiology. Those thoughts must be haunting you. What if there are so many questions from that subject? So remember that you might not be equally good at all the topics that you need to know. And that is nothing to worry about because everybody else is in the same boat as you are. You are not alone. See, nobody can master all the 19 subjects. If you ask me what to do in this one last day, you must have made your own small, short notes basically for last day of the revision. Whatever is your personal short notes, try to revise that. For me, microbiology might be difficult. For you, it might be easy. So that is why everybody's the last minute revision notes would be different. Please focus on that rather than going into the detail of one particular subject and leaving the rest of the subjects. I would say that quickly skim through all the, some important topics of all the subjects, so that it gives you the confidence that, I was able to revise all 19 subjects. So thoda of everything is better than doing everything of just one subject. So thoda dekh liya, that would be much, much better. Okay. Right. Who's saying my friend advised me take propranolol tomorrow morning? Vipul, don't do anything of that sort. You are much above these medicines. You don't need them, right? Not at all. You never know what that medicine might give you an adverse effect in the exam, right? And headache, insomnia, loss of attention, loss of concentration. You don't know what can happen. So your mind is the most important medicine that you should be taking along. That's the only thing that you need. Okay. Harshit, 160 to 170 से ज़्यादा ही attempt करना. Even though if you might be an intern and first time attempter, attempt more. You can definitely attempt more. Okay. That I would be Tripajot, I would be able to tell that only tomorrow. Ki how many questions from Sure Shot 150. So we will definitely meet tomorrow post exam, immediately post exam, like around 2:30, 3 p.m. again, to give you insights into how the exam was. है ना? ठीक है. Dr. Priya, you were not able to revise your GT copy. You did it 15 days ago. You can just skim through it few pages because I don't want that at the back of the mind कि oh my god I was not able to revise my GT copy. So पूरा मत करके थोड़ा थोड़ा सा देख लो to get that at least a pseudo confidence कि कि I have been able to revise that as well. Okay. And I wish that many of you must be feeling kash aisa hota ki, one day before the exam, something like this, and we were able to put everything into our minds. But unfortunately, it does not. Rather, what works in the last day is just quickly going through the pages like this, the cute little child here. Quickly go through it. Don't go into the details of the topics now. बस ऊपर से देख लिया तो भी बहुत है ना? And of course, don't cram any new topics today. Not at all. Just leave it alone and tell yourself इसमें से question नहीं आने वाला है. And ठीक है? And all you need to do tomorrow is put everything into your tummy, into your brains, into your minds, and just vomit it out tomorrow. The volatile stuff here which needs memory, like last minute short term memory, like staging of the cancers, the classifications, the scores, which are a lot of ratta maar wale topics, are something that you should be doing today, because if you revise them one day before the exam, you get more confidence in vomiting it out tomorrow. Okay? Okay, Ram Krishna is asking, even after ruling out two options are left. Then what to do for that? Trust your instinct. That is what I am coming to that. I'll be coming to that is trust your instinct. Whatever your instinct says, mark that answer. Because somewhere it's coming from the information that you have given to your subconscious mind that tells you that this is the answer. Don't leave that question unattempted. Okay? And most important, don't be silly in the exam. Not at all. What are the common silly mistakes that are done? Not reading except, not reading not in the exam, not true. Which of the following is not true about the given condition? So do not skip reading the words like not and except. Read the question till the last word. Read the question very carefully. Rereading the question takes more time. So it's always better that you read it well in the first read itself. Do not read any question with a previous bias. Oh, this was a previously asked question and the answer was this. The examiners try to put you into that trap कि previous year questions जैसे हम शक्ल question आते हैं, but they are not exactly the same. One word here and there and the answer changes. So the best way to reduce the silly mistakes is to read every question like it's a new question and with all the concentration. Okay, with all the concentration. Okay, right. And that is what I was coming to. Trust your instinct. Many of you must have realized this in your grand test, how well does not your instinct work. So if in your grand test, in the mock test, you feel that my instinct is very good, whatever I mark in the grand test, I get the right answers, please keep doing that. If someone like Doc's instinct is like marking the wrong, then you mark the other option where your instinct said and it was wrong, mark it the other way around. So you must have realized how good or how bad your instinct is, right? So follow that. Okay, coming to time management, Vrinda. Don't waste too much time on any one question. Now, trust me, this is one of the mistakes that I did in my All India PG exam. Putting too much time into the question and options, choosing the options, then again coming back during the review to those questions and putting the same amount of time. If you have put a lot of time into reading a question, the best thing is to mark the answer then and there itself. Okay, the best thing is to mark the answer then and there itself. And if at all you want, you can put that question for review so that you can come back to that later on. At least you have marked the answer. Don't leave it blank. Okay, because you have invested your time into reading that question. So whatever your instinct might have told you, retrieved some information and told you the answer, usko mark karo, usko review mein rakho. Don't leave it unattempted. Right? So don't waste too much time to the question. Now coming to the tricks, what you should be using. For lengthy questions, always read the last line first. That's very, very important point to save your time. In the lengthy questions, the initial few lines, in majority of the times, but not always, is not needed. It is just a trap to waste your time. Right? So read the last line first. Many times it gives you the crux of the question. You don't need to read the rest of the question. If the last line is not giving the answer, read the second last line. Read the second last line. And then if you are not able to answer, then go and read the question pura from the first line. So this is what you should be doing for the lengthy questions. Okay. For the image-based questions, what you should be doing is, for image-based questions, the first thing is have a quick look at the image first. First is have a look at the image. Ki kya image hai? Then have a look at the options. Right, because you are not there in the OPD where you want to make a diagnosis of the ECG, of the chest X-ray, anything. You have to choose from the 4 options and then try to rule out the option one by one. Most important, read the clinical history also quickly, because many times it is just the history that you might be able to answer the question without the image. Sometimes image is given just to put a trap there. So you might not even be requiring to have an idea about the image. This is especially true when the image appears difficult. Right, for difficult looking images, there's always a clue in the clinical history to help you answer that question. Right, rather for every exam, this is what you should be doing. every question. For every question, when you go to the next question, the first thing that you should be reading in the question is not the question. The first thing that you should be reading in the question is the options. Because options से आपको idea आ जाएगा कि particularly this is from which subject, from which area this question is there. So you will then realize then how to get information from that part of your brain. So let's say I see options like Taenia solium, Trichuris trichura, then I see options like other parasites. Then I get to know that this is this is from microbiology. So most important, read the options first, then read the question, because then you would get to know what is this about. प्रखर is saying मैम it feels like याद आएगा या नहीं आएगा. प्रखर सबको यही लग रहा है, everybody is feeling the same and I can totally understand that and it's absolutely normal. Trust me, in the exam hall you would be able to remember everything. पूरे साल का whatever you have read, it's not gonna go in vain. You would be able to remember and retrieve all the information that you want. Okay, I'll come to your I'll come to your other queries as well. Coming to time management. देखो ये गलती बिल्कुल मत करना in the exam. This is one of the other most common mistakes that we tend to do. Starting में we try to read every question एकदम आराम से and be very sure of the answer, and we do it very slowly. And then when 1 hour goes, 1.5 hour goes, and then we realize, oh my God, I'm really, really short of time. There is only these many minutes. There are only 60 minutes and I have 100 questions to solve. And then we try to rush in, and in that we tend to make a lot of mistakes. This should not be there at any moment of time. This is the most important tip that you should remember. Starting, say your speed should be like this. Imagine like time बहुत कम है and quickly you try to answer. So you have basically 210 minutes and you have 200 questions. What I would say is you can follow 60, 70, 70. That means try to finish in 3 hours itself rather than 3.5 hours. That last 30 minutes you keep for the questions which are excuse me, the questions which are kept for review, or anything that uneventful happens in the examination hall, technical glitches, computer system shutting down, kuch bhi hua, you keep those 30 minutes ka buffer. Okay, so in the first hour, keep your target of 60 questions, then 70 questions, and then 70 questions. By 3 hours, try to finish the exam. Even if it goes to 3 hours and 10 minutes, even that is good enough. Okay, even that is good enough. So don't do this mistake. Starting में बहुत ज़्यादा आराम से कर रहे हैं. The timer in the exam will be in the reverse direction. वो 210 minutes से start होके पीछे की तरफ से जाता है. So calculate for yourself कि when the timer will hit, let's say the 160 mark, my 60 questions should be done. When the timer hits 100, my next 70 questions should be done. Right? मतलब 130 questions पूरे हो जाने चाहिए. When the timer hits 40 maybe, my next 70 questions should be done. So calculate beforehand how should your time management should be. Okay. Yes, attempt all, and for review, keep it minimum. The top scorers, the top performers, ideally attempt 195 plus, right? If you want really, really good scores and good ranks, attempt as many as possible. Don't do that mistake of going into accuracy, marking only the questions that you know answers to, right? Because that will decrease your scores. So like I had done in my exam, I told you कि मैंने सिर्फ 240 questions ही attempt किए. The 60 questions I had left blank. It was not like I was not able to rule out the options, or those were like absolutely alien topics. Something that someone did not give me the guidance last day before the exam कि ये गलती मत करना. So that's why I don't want anybody of you to do that. In those 60 questions also, let's say that मेरे 40 रॉन्ग हो जाते और मैंने सिर्फ 20 राइट मार्क किए होते. So it would have been 20 into 4, that is plus 80 minus 40. It would have been plus 40. That's the score that would have been added to my score. And plus 40 is a huge score. You know that even 1 mark here and there in our exam, it means the rank go is changing significantly, right? So अगर मेरे maximum wrong हो भी रहे हैं, this is थोड़ा सा दिक्कत आ रहा है लाइव में, ठीक है. But it is plus 4. That is what you always have to take advantage of. Okay, take advantage of that. Okay, and for review, please keep minimum number of questions for review. Am I back now? I could see thoda buffering happening. Okay. Right, now coming to the cheat codes, that is C3 with N3, the cheat codes and concepts that I call it with N3. Most important is ruling out the options. Remember, you are in a MCQ option-based exam. You are not in a OPD. Even if you don't know the right answer, right, 1, 2, 3, 4, if you rule out the 3 options, you know that this is the answer. Ruling out is the most important trick that you should be using in the examination hall. Odd man out is the another cheat code that you should be using. Like I tell you the example of the insulin glucagon ratio wala question. If the question is which of the following enzymes will be activated by low insulin glucagon ratio, try to find the odd man out. Three cycles would be anabolic, one cycle would be catabolic, right? So you try to categorize which is the one option which is not going with the rest of the three. That is going to be the answer. Next, when you have contradictory options, like let's say the example of iohexol is one option says ionic monomer, it's a non-ionic monomer. So when you have two contradictory options, one option is saying it's ionic, one option is saying it's non-ionic. So you know that the answer will be one of these because iohexol cannot be ionic and non-ionic both. Right. So when there are contradictory options, the answer will be one of those. So automatically the two options, the rest of the options are ruled out. Please do not mark the rest of the two options as the answer. The examiner has ruled out two options for you, right? Pehle se. Next, always read the options very carefully. Read the last option rather first. If it is all of the above wala question, that means the first three options you need to read very well. If in all of the above wala question you are able to rule out even one option, that means automatically all of the above is also ruled out. है ना, तो दो options rule out हो जाएंगे, फिर बाकी दो में आपको choose करना है. So all of the above questions is very important. And whenever you get a question which is related to a new term, it could be a new term, a new technique, a new drug, a new monoclonal antibody, try to decode that term. Try to decode that term. Like giving the example of tissue harmonic imaging is used in. Tissue harmonic is related to sound. Sound means ultrasound. You know that I've heard this word somewhere, harmonics in physics related to sound waves. So sound waves ultrasound में use करते हैं, तो ये होगा ultrasound, है ना? So try to decode the new terms. Pharmacology के कुछ new drugs होंगे, so try to find those hidden words there. Iohexol is non-ionic, Anshul. Okay, OL wale contrast agents are non-ionic. Remember, OL wale are non-ionic, ATE wale are ionic. So these are some of the cheat codes, the smart tricks that I was talking about that you should be using. Number 1, ruling out. Number 2, odd man out. Number 3, contradictory options है, तो उसमें से ही आंसर मार्क करना. All of the above वाले में read the last option first because I don't want you to make a mistake कि A, B, C देख रहे हैं. You feel that A is correct and you mark A as the answer, but you missed reading the last option was all of the above. So this is another common silly mistake that is done, and decode the new terms. Okay. Next, coming to the most important part, not related to studies, but very important, taking care of yourself. Now focus on getting some good rest today. I know that it's difficult, and so that's where I would suggest you practice Yog Nidra if you have been doing that. I do it, and it really helps to get some mind relaxation. You would find it on YouTube, easily available in Hindi and in English as well. So when you want to take rest, you are too tired, you're not able to study and you need rest, but you're not able to rest as well. But it's like neend aa rahi hai, but aa bhi nahi rahi hai. So in that case, this definitely comes to rescue. At least this is from my personal experience. So try practicing that. It gives you a good mind relaxation. Eat healthy today. Don't skip on your meals. Tomorrow as well in the morning, please have breakfast, though not very heavy, so that you feel sleepy. Not very light, so that you feel hungry during the exam hours and your glucose levels go down and you are not able to concentrate. Before you enter the exam hall, you can munch on some Cadbury's, basically some carbs, to maintain your glucose levels in the exam hall, because that definitely can affect your concentration power as well. So some good concentration is what you need. And next one is, in the exam hall, you get water bottles. At least last time they gave, and this time also they should be giving. So beach mein keep hydrating yourself in those 3.5 hours, right? And please keep your things ready right after this session now itself, so that you don't keep it for the end. If there's anything that you feel, oh, this document is not there, you have time to get a printout, a copy or something. So Abhi, please keep your things ready that you need to take. I hope all of you have planned your travel and commute. Please reach on time. You would be given a time slot as well, like mentioned. You'd get a message or an email. So try to follow that. You never know. Crooked invigilator might not allow you outside that time slot. So it's always better to go on that time slot. And yes, please carry the original copy of the ID that you have mentioned and ID that you have mentioned in your exam form. And please do carry some emergency medicines also with yourself. At least keep it in your bag. Like, headache के लिए, थोड़ा fever के लिए, PCM रख दिया साथ में, OnDem रख दिया साथ में, Pantop रख दिया. These are the bare minimum that you can keep with yourself for tomorrow for emergency. So carry some emergency medicines as well with yourself. Okay. Now, yes, another query like Prakhar is asking, is it okay if I stop studying after 7 to 8 p.m.? See, there are two groups of people. Whatever you've been doing, keep doing that. Don't just do anything because someone else told you to do it. I am a person who falls into the group who would keep reading till the last minute, even on the way to the examination hall, entering into the examination hall, as much as I can till the last minute, I'll keep reading. I fall into that category. There's another group who score equally good and get some good ranks. They stop studying like one day before the exam, doing nothing, just taking a chill pill. So whatever you've been doing all your life, please do that because that means that suits your personality. ठीक है? Athara Prashant didn't study much. अरे कोई नहीं, take a chill pill. जितना पढ़ा है बस उसमें exam दे के आ जाओ. That's it. No, they will not give the paper and pen to get back. Like no pen and paper is given in the examination hall in NEET PG. No, Nisha, you don't need to carry all the IDs. What the admit card mentions is whatever you had mentioned in the form, that is what you need to carry. Hana? Sleeping hours, please take good. Minimum 6 to 7 hours of sleep. Please take that. That's the minimum that I'm talking about. Right. So I hope I have answered majority of your queries, guys. है ना? Yes, even I am praying and hoping the short 150 you get to answer a lot of questions from there. So again, reinforcing, stay positive. When you are entering the exam hall, this is what all of you should be doing, right? Exhale all the negativity and the doubt and inhale all the faith and the confidence. And tell yourself, no matter what happens, whatever are the exam results, this exam result does not define me, does not define my worth. I am and I will always be unique. There's never going to be any other person like you on this earth. So you are unique no matter how good or how bad you perform in this exam. And right, and if need be, if it requires कि एक और attempt देना भी पड़े, so be ready for that. It really does not matter whether you are clearing the exam in first, second, third, fourth or fifth attempt. In the long run of your life, it really does not matter. Nobody asks you later on कौन से attempt में किया. It's just we who try to impose a lot of pressure on ourselves. It really does not matter, right? So remember, attitude is that little thing that makes a big difference in the examination hall. Even the toppers tend to screw their exam by getting panicked. So please don't do that. That's the most important thing. No matter what happens, if your computer system shuts down, your timer also stops and you get extra time. So don't worry about that. Right? Just try to have the positive attitude and the faith in yourself and the faith in him, the supernatural power who's there to take care of you. Your destiny, your movie of life has already been scripted in the best possible way. So just be an actor. Don't try to be the director. Just watch the movie as it is going. है ना? और लास्ट क्वेरी, ओके, जब कुछ समझ नहीं आए ABCD में से क्या चूज करें, अकड़ बकड़ करके चूज कर लेना. जस्ट फॉलो योर इंस्टिंक्ट, व्हाटएवर इट सेज. You can go for B or C. Generally is what we have seen are generally the right answers somehow. है ना? Okay, so yes, you've got it, everyone, and you can do it. And post exam, as I said, I will be waiting. We'll be meeting immediately after the exam. I'll have another YouTube live session on the Unacademy as well, where we are going to discuss how the exam was, just to take a chill pill. And I want each one of you to come out with the exam hall with these smiling faces, right? Remember all the tips that I have shared with you, and I'll be waiting to hear from you tomorrow, right? Thank you so much, everyone, and all the very best Please do not forget to drop a message after the exam. I will be waiting very, very eagerly to hear from each one of you post exam. Calculations everybody will be doing without pen and paper. You just have to get the approximate answer. आपको exact answer आने की जरूरत नहीं है. You know कि option 10 के पास है कि 50 के पास है कि 80 के पास है, आपको approximate answer चाहिए होता है, exact answer नहीं चाहिए होता है. ठीक है? Yeah, so all of you come out dancing like this and do share a video with me post exam. So all the very best, guys. It gives me a lot of butterflies to me as well. Your exam is like my exam, and I'll just keep praying for each one of you, and good wishes and blessings always. All the very best again. Thank you so much.